10 of the worst Randy Orton matches in his entire career. Here are the 10 worst matches that I could come up with based off of fan reaction, cagematch.net, and more. Because these are the matches that this legendary star in his legendary career really did not hit the marker. I mean, it absolutely sucked. Some of these names on here: Bray Wyatt, Triple H, and many more. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Number 10 is Kofi Kingston, SummerSlam 2019. This was during Kingston's run as WWE Champion. Although the highly anticipated bout was something that fans had dreamed up in their minds is going to be great, the match ended up in a unsatisfying double countout, deflating the excitement around the rivalry and the built-up storyline in the match itself. Fans wanted to see a decisive finish, a decisive winner, and that finish felt like a huge misstep in an otherwise entertaining feud. Number 9, Hulk Hogan, SummerSlam 2006. Orton faced an aging Hulk Hogan in a match that struggled due to Hogan's limitations inside the squared circle. The chemistry was off, and the match failed to live up to the hype of legend versus legend killer, leaving fans underwhelmed. Hogan was well past his prime, and you could start to see that in 2005 when he worked Shawn Michaels the year prior at SummerSlam, but this match had such great build-up, but it just fell absolutely short, and it's a shame. It's a shame that we didn't get to see a younger Hulk Hogan step into the ring with arguably one of WWE's greatest in-ring workers of all time in Randy Orton, but we just sadly did not get to see that. Number 8, when he took on Sheamus at the Royal Rumble in 2010. The crowd was largely disengaged during the match for the WWE Championship as Orton and Sheamus failed to build tension or excitement during this match, and the match felt slow and ended in a DQ, which only disappointed fans even more. This Randy Orton around 2009, 2010, outside of his feud with, Christian, I wasn't a fan. He was slow and plodding and trying to be that quote-unquote vicious heel, but for me, it never clicked, and this match certainly didn't. Number 7 is his match with Bray Wyatt in the House of Horrors match at Payback 2017. This cinematic-style match was heavily criticized for its confusing concept and awkward execution, a far cry from what WWE did in 2020 and 2021. The strange haunted house segments, lighting, and pace made it feel more like a horror movie than a wrestling match, which completely alienated fans. Now, clearly, WWE learned from their mistakes years later, but still, this match sucked, and it did not help the program between Bray and Randy at this time, which had already come under fire. Number 6, we had to go there. John Cena Iron Man match, bragging rights 2009. This 60-minute match between Cena and Orton received criticisms for being overly long and filled with drawn-out rest holds. Fans found the match slow pace, exhausting rather than exciting, even with the anything goes stipulation in an Iron Man match. So not only did we give you plenty of time with a gimmick, but we put a gimmick within a gimmick and letting you guys go out there and use any weapons necessarily. Ouch. Number 5, we're halfway home. Him and Jinder Mahal, Backlash 2017. And in a surprising outcome, Jinder Mahal defeated Randy Orton to win the WWE Championship. The match itself was slow-paced with a minimum response from the crowd and lack of memorable spots, making it forgettable despite its historic outcome. Why did Jinder Mahal wrestle Randy Orton for the WWE Championship? More importantly, why did Jinder Mahal become WWE Champion? Well, this was at a time where WWE was trying to break through in the Indian market and make that region profitable for them. But unfortunately, despite the fact that they got behind Jinder, pushed him to the freaking moon, it just didn't work. Jinder Mahal was not WWE Champion, regardless of his physique, regardless of his promos, regardless of Vince McMahon trying to reinvent Jinder Mahal as a villain from the 1970s or 80s. It just didn't work. I could not make this match be any lower on this list because at number 4, it was Triple H, WrestleMania 25. Despite being one of the main event of this historic event, The match disappointed many fans with its lack of intensity. The two couldn't match the energy expected for such a heated feud and rivalry, especially following the electrifying Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels match earlier that night, or Jeff Hardy versus Matt Hardy, or any other match on the card. This match had a bunch of heat going into it. This was the infamous feud where Randy Orton kissed Stephanie McMahon, Triple H broke into Randy Orton's quote-unquote house, threw him through the window. Oh, that was such a great segment. This match, it sucked. This was the definition of Randy Orton in 2009. Just boring. As we make our way onto the list, number 3, The Great Kei. SmackDown 2011. Orton faced Kei in a match criticized for its slow pace and lack of chemistry. Orton struggled to work around Kei's limited mobility, resulting in a lackluster encounter that left fans unimpressed and feeling like they wasted 4 minutes and 32 seconds of their life that they could never, ever get back. And they're right. You can't. You got to move on from it. But Kei, look, man, he was hard to work with. He couldn't do much. He was very limited. No one liked this Kei era, from 2007 to about 2010. When he became a comedy figure, you just skip past his matches. It just wasn't any good. Number 2, we're about to break into the Bray Wyatt Fiend years, because at number 2, it is WWE TLC Tables, Ladders, Chairs 2020 Premium Live event from the Thunderdome. This was the infamous Firefly Inferno, where Randy Orton set the Fiend on fire. In Bray Wyatt's Peacock documentary, it was well noted that Bray Wyatt absolutely hated this angle. He hated the fact that he was burned alive. He hated the suit because it was much more heavier and had a lot more prosthetic makeup, to the point where it really killed the Fiend character altogether. It was just absolutely horrible. If you want a bad match to go back and watch, highly recommend this. And at number 1, the match that officially killed the Fiend, it was Randy Orton versus the Fiend, WrestleMania 37, 2021. This match had high expectations to the storyline build-up, but it ended up being a short and anticlimactic match with strange special effects and an awkward finish. Fans felt let down, expecting more of the Fiend character and Orton's involvement. Keep in mind that this was the match where Randy Orton was originally planned to put Bray Wyatt over. However, Vince McMahon opted against that, telling Orton, no, you could not have time off. Cancel your vacation because you're staying on television. They had Alexa Bliss turn on Bray Wyatt for absolutely no reason, and this was Bray Wyatt's last match booked under Vince McMahon, because he would be later fired months later and then brought back to the company by Triple H about a year or so after.